Hey guys, today I have a stacked pyramid workout for you focusing on upper body. I'm doing a whole series of this structured workout. I'll have lower body, upper body, core, and total body. So if you're looking for a longer workout, you can always pair some of the videos together. There are 6 exercises in this workout, and how it's structured is we're going to spend 35 seconds on each exercise, building up to a series of 6 back-to-back. So the first round, you just do exercise number 1, and then you rest. Then you do exercise 1 plus exercise 2, rest. Exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3, rest, building up to a string of 6 consecutive exercises. You're going to get 30 seconds to rest in between each of those sets. And the reason why we're doing 35 seconds on the exercises instead of a clean 30 is just because I want to account for transition time so that we don't lose out on those reps. Before we go into each set, I am going to show you a preview of the exercise to come, and I'll also show you how to modify it. But for most of these exercises, it's just a matter of using a lighter set of dumbbells. So that being said, for equipment, all you need is a set of dumbbells. I would actually recommend 2 though, a medium set and then a drop set. So I'm going to use a set of 10-pound dumbbells, and then I'm also going to use a set of 8-pound dumbbells when we get to the last 2 rounds, which are focused more on shoulders and some rotational moves where typically you want to go a little lighter. As with all workouts, you want to make sure you're properly warmed up beforehand and always listen to your body, modifying or stopping as needed. I have 2 warm-ups on my channel that are linked below, or you could do your own. If you're new to my channel, I don't play music in the background of my workouts because I want you to be able to listen to whatever you like. So you might want to get a playlist or a TV show queued up. And with all that said, let's get to the preview of exercise number 1. Let's get into position for our bicep circle curls. So roll your shoulder blades down your back, nice broad chest, knit your ribs together, core is active, soft bend in the knees. We're going to start at the beeps. So you go up to one side, over, down to the other, and then when you hit the bottom, you're just going to switch directions. Now I'm starting out with my medium set of weights. Again, this is the exercise you're going to see 6 times throughout the workout. So if you notice forms start to slip in the later rounds, you can always use that drop set and go slightly lighter. Now I want as little swaying through your body and torso as possible. So let's really make sure our core is active and we're not locking out through the knees. So we have a neutral pelvic bone as we do this. 30 seconds to rest while I show you exercise number 2. Okay, so we will start at the top with those bicep circle curls, and then we will add in that row overhead raise combo. Let's go. So if you notice yourself kind of dumping into your low back as you do this standing upper body work, I want you to stagger your feet. You'll notice right now I have my feet about shoulder widths apart. But if you notice your pelvic bone tilting forward and a lot of pressure in your low back, I want you to step one foot, stagger it a couple inches behind the front foot, and that is just going to help you keep neutral spine as you do this. 10 more seconds to go here, and then we'll take it into our second exercise. Ooh, you can see my facial expression starting to struggle with these. All right, 2 bent rows and then an overhead raise. When you do the overhead raise, I want you to alternate arms. So you'll do one arm and then the next. It is with control that you lift and lower. So 2 powerful rows, 1 arm lifts, then the next. Now, when you do that row, you're squeezing the shoulder blades into center, driving those elbows back, but I don't want you to counter the squeeze of the shoulder blades by puffing out through your ribs. So core is active, draw your navel to your spine. "30 seconds to rest while I show you exercise number 3. Okay, we start at the top. Round number 3, we're doing those 3 exercises back to back. Circle curls up first. The next day after this workout, my biceps were feeling it. Now, if the circular motion of these biceps curls is causing you any discomfort in your elbows, then I want you to give me some straight curls or hammer curls, all right? Feel free to switch up the variation. As long as you are focusing on biceps this first round, it is all good. At the beeps, we're going to take it into that row combo. Hinge forward, button hips slide down and back, bend to the knees, abs in tight, 2 rows, driving the elbows up, and then you're going to reach one arm overhead and the next. Now, when you do that overhead raise, I want you to notice what's going on with the shoulders. You shouldn't be scrunching the shoulders up to your ears. So think of kind of sliding the shoulder blades down your back so that we activate through the lats as you do that raise. Few more seconds to go here. We're going to ditch the weights after this. You're going to go down to the floor. We have marching push-ups. Weights go down, make your way to the floor. We are going to do a marching plank. So that's elbow, elbow, straight arm, straight arm. And when you're back on both hands, I want you to give me 1 push-up. Now, when you do the march, I want you to make sure you're alternating your lead arm every time. So it'd go right, left, push up, then left, right, push up. If your push-ups start to get sloppy, I want you to drop down to your knees and give me modified push-ups. My goal is to get in at least a couple from my feet before I modify. Modifying coming up, though, for this last one. Last few seconds. "30 seconds rest. I'll show you exercise number 4. Okay, we start from the top. This is the 4th time you're going to see those bicep circle curls. So again, if form is starting to slip, first try staggering your feet. If that doesn't help, I want you to use your drop set of weights. If the circular motion is causing any discomfort in your elbows, just give me straight biceps curls. So you would bring those fists right up to your shoulders, or you can do a hammer curl, which would mean palms face in towards each other, okay? So I am absolutely fine with you taking a different biceps exercise variation. Let's check in on form. Soft bend to the knees, core in tight, and we are not hunching our shoulders. So roll your shoulder blades down your spine. Keep those weights, 2 bent rows, alternating overhead raise. So when you do that overhead raise, I don't want you to swing it. So I don't want you to use momentum, all right? So think controlled lift and controlled lower. So you're not just releasing on the way down, you're resisting on the way down, kind of working in both directions here. Keeping a long spine, so think of reaching your tailbone back. Chest stays open. Neck is neutral, so you're not drooping your head and you're also not craning it. Okay, ditch the weights. We're going to make our way to the floor. Marching push-ups. So starting in your high plank position, forearm, forearm, straight arm, 1 push-up at the top. When you do that push-up, core is active, legs are active as well. So let's make sure we're squeezing our quads and glutes. Picture you could lift your quads off your kneecaps throughout this. When you do the march, I want as little rocking of the hips as possible. So we're trying to keep them level to the floor as best we can. You got to stay active through the core to achieve that. Okay, we are going to kind of build off of that push-up. We're going into surfer get-up. So starting in a low staggered squat position, you hop your feet back. You kind of go into a plank, but lower your chest all the way to the floor with control. And then you're powerfully pushing off the ground, landing in that low squat position as if you were hopping on a surfboard. So notice I'm alternating which foot is in front. So you land in kind of a low staggered squat. If you are noticing your back getting really floppy on these, I want you to drop to your knees and lower with control that way. Last few seconds, you got it. Goal is to get your heart rate up on this one. And 30 seconds to rest while I show you exercise number 5. Second to last round coming up. We're going to start at the top with those bicep circle curls. So standing upright, roll your shoulder blades down your back, knit your ribs together, soft bend to the knees, And let's go up and over, switch directions at the bottom. I want as little swaying side to side and as little rocking through your torso as possible. So you really got to brace through the core. I care about quality over quantity, so go slowly through these. At any point, if form starts to get sloppy, again, use that drop set of weight. And just a note, I'm going to switch to the drop set when we get to that final exercise, once we start going to that shoulder series, and I would recommend you to go a little lighter for that as well. 2 bent rows, alternating overhead raise. I'll face forward this time just to give you a slightly different angle. So you drive those elbows back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, but without dumping into your low back. So you got to draw the navel to the spine. Low abs are engaged as well. So kind of pull up and in through the low abs, but reach your tailbone long. When you do that overhead raise, remember, you're not just swinging the arms haphazardly. So think about taking momentum out of the equation. Use the strength of your arms. All right, put the weights down. We are going to take it into marching push-ups. So find your plank position. Elbow, elbow, hand, hand, 1 push-up at the top. And when you do that push-up, make sure you're not just dipping your head to the floor, okay? So you bend the elbows, lead with your chest down and up. Core stays nice and tight. If form starts to get sloppy, knees come down. Give me a modified push-up. And if you want to modify further, stay on your knees through the whole thing, even the march. Final few seconds here. We're going to kind of make this push-up a little more explosive. We got surfer get-ups. So you start in that staggered low squat position. Hands come to the floor. Hop back into the plank, smoothly lowering your chest down to the ground, and then pop back up explosively. So this is kind of a total body exercise here, but we got to focus on the upper body to really push ourselves up off the ground. Core stays in tight, land in that low squat. Weight is in your heels when you're in that low squat. You got it. Just over 10 seconds to go. Keep it up. Can you get in 2 more reps? At least, maybe 3. Push it. All right, let's find those weights. Again, I'm using my drop set for these. So we're going to start with the elbows at our side, bent at 90 degrees. It's a bent raise, so elbows lift up, maintaining that L shape, and then rotate open, shoulder press overhead, and reverse the motion. So the hardest part is going to be that kind of hinge rotation open. If this does not feel okay, I want you to use even lighter weights, all right? Don't be afraid to go lighter than you might think on this one. Now, same alignment through the rest of the body as I was talking about in that bicep circle curl. So soft bend of the knees, neutral spine, so your core has to be really active. If there is any dumping into your low back, you get to rest. Let me show you the final exercise while you do. Last round coming up. So that last move might not look like a lot, but oh man, it is going to burn, okay? So we have our final round of work, all 6 exercises, back to back, start at the top. I'm sure you are very sick of bicep circle curls by now. Again, you have the option to take a different curl variation. But your arms will thank you tomorrow for this. Sometimes repetition really is just a very effective way to hit that muscle group and build up that burn. So if you're feeling this in your low back, I want you to take that staggered position, 1 foot slightly behind the other. Especially keep that staggered foot position in mind when we get to the last 2 exercises of this round, okay? That shoulder series. On to bent rows with that alternating front raise. So we can check bicep curls off the list. Finally, I'm sure you are very relieved. I sure am. So we're hinging forward with the torso. We're not hunching though. So slide the shoulder blades down your spine. Chest stays broad, core in tight. I know I am a broken record on this, but it is so important. And it's the first piece of form that starts to slip. So I just like giving those reminders throughout the workout. Those small adjustments are going to make sure you do these exercises safely and effectively. Drop those weights. Let's head to the floor. Marching push-ups. So 2 exercises down, 4 to go. You got this. Quality over quantity. So I want you moving continuously through the 35-second intervals, but slow it down if things start to get sloppy, okay? You can always modify by bringing knees to the floor, as I am doing. Just about 10 seconds to go. Let's take it to our surfer get-ups. All right, so explosive movement. You're gonna get the heart rate up on this. Let's go. It's kind of like the bottom half of a burpee. So you are, once your chest hits the floor, you are exploding up, land in that low squat. Hands come off the ground, but don't straighten your legs. Right back down to the bottom. Core is active as you do this, so draw your navel into the spine. Oh, I'm slowing down, getting stuck down at the floor. Again, if you need to modify, knees come to the ground. Let's grab those weights. Again, I'm using my drop set, so lighter weights. We're gonna come into that bent raise with the hinge open and the press overhead. If you are feeling this in your low back, stagger your feet instead of having them at shoulder widths apart, okay? So throughout that first part of it, you're maintaining a 90-degree bend. It's just a rotation, so you're lifting the elbow up and then you rotate in the shoulder cage and then you do that shoulder press overhead. Slow and controlled. Don't be afraid to go very light with the weights on this one. Core is active, knit your ribs together. Last few seconds, you got it. All right, final exercise. I want you to squeeze your forearms together and it's a little press in front of your face. Abs in tight. Now, I don't just want you to squeeze the weights together. Think about squeezing your elbows together. This one is gonna burn. You do not need to get a big range of motion. It could be a couple inches up and down. Your goal, can you get through this without dropping your elbows below chest height? Oh, I'm struggling. Final 10 seconds. Let's go. If you are arching into your low back, I need you to bend the knees, draw your navel to the spine. You can do it. Final 5. Stay with it. Don't drop. You're almost there. So close to the end. Woo! And done. You survived. Awesome work. If you like this workout, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I will see you here next week with another workout.